All right, Shalom. First off, I'm gonna start out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shad, Bahasham, Racha Hakudash. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true name, Yahweh Shad being the name of His only begotten Son. Double honor to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you Wakim, throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and in sincerity. All right, this is the brother Masha, one of the men coming up under the branch out here in the morning camp. Now, here with a quick lesson once again. Really just concerning, being afflicted. All right, in whichever way it is. All right, when you're afflicted, whether the Lord takes away certain things you might have, all right, your car might break down, you might get fired from a job, or whatever the case may be. All right, dealing with illness. Okay, I saw the Lord once again. Job is the perfect example. All right, but pretty much it's going into not charging the Most High foolishly. Okay, like the precept will go into. All right, when you're brought to a lower state. All right, so without further ado, really maintaining your faith and not turning against the Most High. I mean, the elect are never gonna do that, but I'm just speaking to the Spirit. This is Job chapter 1 and starting at verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared the Most High and eschewed evil. And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep, and 3,000 camels, and 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she asses, and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east. And it so this pretty much Job was rich, and he feared the Most High. All right, he was an upright man, right? So jumping to verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. Okay, so showing you Satan came, and he came to take orders from the Lord. All right, this right here shows you that Satan is not just doing his own thing. Okay, no, he's scripture said the Lord is the Father of spirits. All right, so verse 7. The Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feared the Most High and escheweth evil? All right, so the Most High was giving him a suggestion, like, all right, so did you you think about my servant Job? All right, he's just like it says, he's an upright one that fears me and eschews evil. Right? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Doth Job fear the Most High for naught? Has not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. So Satan was like, man, he only fears you because you blessed him and you got a hedge about him, right? But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. Right, so this once again it's another test, okay? That Satan wants to come at us with. All right, well, whatever. Ultimately, it's all just tests. All right, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. Okay, get you to denounce your faith in the Most High. All right, and the ones that ultimately aren't a part of the elect, they're gonna fall victim to it. All right, but once again, we gotta have the mentality of Job, and we can't and use this, and we can't fall victim to that. All right. Verse 10. Verse 12. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job, and said, The oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. All right, so hey, this is one of his first afflictions right here. His stuff got taken away. All right, and what did it say? They slew Job's servants. Okay, all right. So what? That I mean, hey, when you think about that, like when you even within that, this first affliction right here, you put yourself back then. You got your servants, okay? You got your oxen feeding and plowing, all right? everything's going good for you, and then just suddenly that happens, boom, you would be kind of distraught at the moment, like what, right? Um, Verse 16, while he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of the Most High is fallen from heaven, and hath burned up the sheep and the servants, and consumed them, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands, and fell upon the camels, and have carried them away, yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. So hey, that's these afflictions coming at him, all right. So that's coming with those with his hits. All right. Um. Verse 18. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in the eldest brother's house, and behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Then Job arose and rent his mantle, and shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground, and worshipped, and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord gave, and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Okay, so that's this last one right here can mess your head up. All right, it said what? It said, verse 18 said, while he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters, all right, were eating and drinking wine in the eldest brother's house. Right. So I mean, that's his family right there, right? So imagine how he felt at that moment, right? Um, Verse 22 is a something that stuck out, and all it's something that's we'll just read it. Job 1:22. In all this, Job sinned not, nor charged the Most High foolishly. All right, so it's saying what he didn't sin, nor charged the Most High foolishly. So he didn't get angry and start screaming and yelling, man, why'd you do this to me, Lord? Why'd you do this? Nah, he acknowledged that, hey, as he acknowledged, verse 21, said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return, and said, the Lord gave, and the Lord taketh away. All right, so we understood that, right? So he was really was an upright man. All right. So from here, let's go to Job 2, starting at the top. Again, there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth? And another quick point too, because I know I just read and whatnot, but and expanded on what was happening within the story, but we can apply it in the times that we're in right now. Okay, you got your stuff, all right, everything you got going on, all right, whatever the case may be, all right, you might be saving money, okay, or you got your car, you got your job going, everything's going good, right? And then some days, okay, you're just hit with problems, all right. And sometimes you've been wondering, like, how did you know what I'm saying? How did it happen? All right. Ultimately, it's all a test from the Lord. All right, and just keeping the same mentality. All right, like Job, like it says, no charge the Most High foolishly. But I'm going to chapter 2, verse 3. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth the Most High and is true with evil? And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. All right. So what? It's the second temptation that the Lord allows Satan to go do, right? And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath, will he give for his life. Put forth thine hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. All right, so Now he went and afflicted his flesh. All right, which also is a lot of things that we go through, right? Um, uh, so like I kind of jumped the gun. Job 2:6, and the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. All right, so now he afflicted his flesh. All right, and that's we go through that a lot. All right, you might be badly sick some days. All right, I know brothers. I've witnessed brothers that were badly sick sometimes. Okay, but what, they didn't stop serving the Lord. All right, that was just a test once again. Right. Then said his wife unto him, Doest thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What, shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips. All right, so what? That's when his woman got weak. Okay, and you're gonna have instances like that. Okay, you can and a lot of times there's gonna be women. Okay, whatever the case may be, whether it be whatever woman you might be living with at the time. All right, whether your mother, okay, your woman, okay. You just see you going through stuff, and it's like, okay, why you wasting your time even doing all that, right? Um, right. So ultimately, the point is what it said: Job did not sin with his lips. All right. So from there, I'm gonna grab some precepts to go with this topic. It's Psalms chapter 34. Psalms chapter 34, verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. All right, so it's going to be many afflictions that we're going to go through, okay, but the Lord is going to deliver us out of them all. All right, like brother said, hey, the Lord is with us in the fire. All right. Let's go to Sirach 2. Sirach chapter 2. It's done at 1. It says, My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. All right, so you're going to be tempted, all right? You're going to be tempted with many different troubles that you're going to have to go through, okay? Whatever it is, whatever the case may be, different infirmities, all right? You're going to be tempted. But what? The Lord ultimately simply wants you to still retain that integrity in him and still serve the Lord. All right, that's the main thing at the end of the day, okay? Don't stop serving the Lord no matter what, all right? That's really the point of the message, all right? Because, speak for myself, I don't know what it is. I just suddenly got badly sick, all right? But hey, that doesn't mean you can't still read. That doesn't mean you still can't do a lesson. That doesn't mean you still can't do what you got to do for the Lord. All right. So I'm gonna jump to verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. All right. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right. So what? Gold is tried. It says, gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So the different troubles and adversity you go through is to try you, like fine gold is put in the fire. All right. Because it says what the trial of a man is in his reasoning. All right. So it's about your mentality while you're going through all those things, right? From here, let's go to 1 Thessalonians, and then we'll end it. 1 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 3. That no man shall be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto. All right, so this is plain and simple, okay? Yeah, we're appointed to go through these different things. Even Paul said, through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven. All right, so if you come into this thing thinking everything's supposed to be sweet and you're not going to go through anything, hey, you're in the wrong mentality. All right? So, but that's why that Sirach 2 says what? Prepare, okay? Prepare thy soul for temptation, right? So, that was the point of the lesson. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bracha HaKodash. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true name, Yahweh Shai being the name of his only begotten Son. Giving double honor unto the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. And peace, blessings, and salutations to all you walk him, continuing to push and do the works in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.